You're allowing other people to just weigh you down, and they set the tone for your success or lack thereof. Is their opinion of your decisions making your future decisions for you? I would manifest these things that I would do in my relationships, my friendships. I would enable toxic behavior in my friends and relationships with women. I had the warning sign shining me right in the face, like a big red flashing light saying, hey, look, there's a problem with this lady that you're dating. This guy is a bum. He's not really your friend. He's just wanting to mooch off of you. But I didn't want to be a jerk. I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to seem, well, ignorant. Well, in trading, you got to be rude. You got to be ruthless. You got to be ignorant. With trades that don't fucking work, get rid of them. Who gives a shit? Close it. So what? The broker made more money than you did in that transaction. Who gives a shit? You're not letting your stop loss get hit, and you're not wasting fucking time worrying about something that's probably not going to pan out. And then when it doesn't pan out, you aren't going to regret doing all that shit to yourself. If you're in a toxic relationship, if you ever had a toxic relationship, and then tweet to me, say, I know exactly what the hell you're talking about, and it makes perfect sense. That's exactly what you're doing to yourself. If you get into a trade and you know in your heart of hearts that this son of a bitch is not going to move, it ain't going to move, but you want to hold on to it anyway because you want to be a nice person. Fuck that. These markets will rip your heart out. It will take everything. It'll take your ego, your pride, your money, and if you let it, your sanity. The money is the least of your concern. I've known people that are not here anymore because they lost money. Some of them lots of money, and some of them ended themselves for very insignificant amounts of money. It's mind-boggling that they just couldn't tolerate it, and they off themselves. Can you imagine? Can you imagine getting to the point where you lose less than $50,000? Less than $50,000, and that's it. You can't handle it. You got to check out. That's horrible. But that's what this will do to people unless you get control. You have to have control of your decision-making processes. You have to have a rule-based idea, and you got to cut the bullshit out. Remove it. If it isn't making you money, get it the fuck out of here. If it's not helping you keep your money, get it the fuck out of here. Think about it, ladies. What are you looking for in a man? You want a breadwinner, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you want stability. There ain't nothing wrong with that either. You want someone that's going to be monogamous. They're going to stay with you, and they appreciate that you do have flaws, but they want to, contribute to the relationship and be thankful for what you bring to it. Guys, the same way. What do you want? You want a woman that's going to treat you like a king, right? Of course. Ladies, you want to be treated like a queen. It's expected. Men want to be appreciated. They want to be told, you didn't have to do this, but I'm so thankful that you did. Okay, that's a simple recipe for happiness. Both of you monogamous, both of you giving each other the encouragement to, this is what I like in my relationship, this is what I don't like in my relationship, and being fair and honest. Man, add sexual attraction to it. Good grief. That's marriage material there. Well, you have to have that same process in your trades. Is the trade giving you those good vibes? Is it something that you want to hold on to? Or is it giving you warning signs? You got to divorce it quick, because you do not want to go to court and divorce with a stop loss over and over and over again with bad trades. Okay, it's not good for you. It's not good at all. But that same broken perspective on relationships manifests itself in trading. And you're probably saying, how the hell did you get on this topic? And this is a good one. Well, it's because I mentor. And I have people that are going through divorces. I have people that are going through breakups. And I'm having people that can't find themselves in relationships, despite them being, in my opinion, I can say this, on both sides of the male and female. I can appreciate a good-looking guy. and I can appreciate a good-looking woman. And some of these folks that I have as students, they literally have nothing wrong with them physically. They look, by all standards, they are attractive. They're successful people. They're doing well in their careers, and they're doing well in trading. But they're being plagued by not being balanced by having a significant other. And then because of that loneliness, they go into the marketplace and they push the button to do what? To feel good. They're allowing their personal life to manifest itself in trading. You cannot look for a feel-good experience in trading. If you treat it like a massage parlor and looking for a happy ending, don't be surprised if you end up with STD. It's as simple as that. You can't do those types of things. These markets will literally take you out. They'll make you second guess everything, remove all sound logic, and you'll lose control. Like a drunken, promiscuous affair on the weekend that your spouse doesn't know about. You'll be in there doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. So why invite it? Why live your life like that to allow manifestations of those types of things in your trading? Folks, this is your business. This isn't a game. This isn't a hobby. If it is, you're doing it fucking wrong. You're doing it wrong unless this is your business and you're minding your fucking business. You're going to fail because you are competing against yourself. And if you haven't removed all the toxic things in your life and found coping skills to allow yourself to be fruitful, balanced, productive, disciplined, do this, don't do that. If you can't do those things in your personal life, you sure as hell ain't going to do it in trading. Who's managing you? Who's your boss? Who's going to reprimand you for losing money? Guys, you know, you hide that money from your wife. She doesn't know you're losing that much. And ladies, you're smart enough to know not to even bring it up. Yes, I know all that stuff. So you have to, it takes a lot to do this business. And unfortunately, there isn't a lot said about this. And I wish that there were books written about it, because those are the books I would promote. Not technical buy and sell here, risk management books. Fuck all that. Okay. The things I talked about tonight, that's where the rubber meets the road. That's the brass tacks of it all. Because 90% of this game is psychological war with yourself. But we lie to ourselves and say, oh, I'm competing against the smartest people in the world. No, you're not. None of those motherfuckers told you to press that button. None of them told you to do the leverage that you used. And nobody told you not to use a fucking stop loss. You did it all on your own. Congratulations. Well done. But you have to live with yourself. You have to wake up in your own skin tomorrow and the next day and live with yourself. Now, the question is, in closing, is, are you doing things that we talked about tonight? Are you allowing your personal life to be loose like that? You're allowing other people to just weigh you down. And they set the tone for your success or lack thereof. Is their opinion of your decisions making your future decisions for you? This is not a team sport. It does not matter who likes what you've done, who thinks that you didn't do enough of it. Everybody, if you give them a chance, everybody will have an opinion about your results. Why does it fucking matter? You're never, I'm telling you right now, even my biggest trades, if I sat down with myself, I can beat them up. So why would I invite it to anybody else? None of your opinions about my results matter to me. And that's the mindset you should have. Hey, what is your average? Fuck you, don't ask me. It's none of your fucking business. How does that work for you? Mind your fucking business. How about you talk about what you've done? Well, I was just curious. Fuck you, don't ask me. You want to talk shit about somebody. That's why you're asking. Don't even invite that stuff. Don't invite it in your personal life, and don't invite it in your trading. And you won't have that problem. That social media equity curve that you're trying to maintain. I'm telling you, if you just simply look around and look at all these guys out here trying to prove themselves, they put so much pressure on themselves. And they would probably be doing 10 times better if they weren't doing it. That type of social media equity curve, that the outward opinions of others. And what would they think of me if I do this wrong? And what would they think of me if I don't trade it this way? And what if I do this? And if I use this entry strategy? And they're going to question why I did that. If you're doing all that, are you really focusing on your trade? Think about that for a second. No. You have now increased the difficulty level to next to impossible. So I try to be as upfront and practical as I possibly can in my delivery and the way I deal with all of you. I am honest about where my limitations are, and I have no bones about saying this is where my weakness is. My weakness in my trading is always my exits. I'm never satisfied with them. Does that make me poor of a trader? No. It means I'm honest. It means that I do have weaknesses. I just don't know how to make them better than they are. And when you have frailties, you have to embrace them. Don't try to hide from them. Because the fact that you're trying to hide from them is the same thing that causes everyone to have drawdown, blown accounts, because you're trying to do what? You're trying to avoid that losing trade. That one singular event where it's now taken something from you. You're trying to avoid that. And the fact that you're trying to avoid that singular transaction turns into a series and chain of them, then your account's blown. Because you've ramped up your emotional and psychological impact. You've done that to yourself. That singular trade that was a losing trade, you made it now more significant. That trade cheated on you. That trade went outside of the relationships and the boundaries you set for it. And now you feel betrayed. So what do you want to do? You want revenge. You want to go find that motherfucker that cheated on you. And you go out there and you go into the marketplace looking for him. And you don't find them. You find somebody else. And they take again from you. And they take again and again and again. And you're hurt more each time. And it revs up that emotional and psychological impact. And you want it to go away. You want to feel victory. You want to feel like you've done the right thing. Because if you win, you've done the right thing. In your mind, that's what you're going to tell yourself. If you get the money back, you've done the right thing. And you didn't learn anything from that. When you should have said, I'm stopping. This hurt me. I'm going to take a step back and heal. I'm not going to be in a rush to get into a new relationship, a new trade. But it's not comfortable waiting around for Mr. Right or Miss Right. My sister, she got married a couple years ago. I love her to death. Different fathers, same mom. Before she met the guy she's with now, she would be such a drain. Like, oh man, I can't even put it in words where it sounds reasonable. Because I don't want to sound rude, because she's my sister. I love her. But she would say, oh, God hates me. God doesn't want me to be with anybody. And I'm like, listen, girl, you're not even looking for people. You're always working. And then you stay in the house. You don't even make yourself friendly or available to anybody. Like, you don't go out. You don't meet anyone. So how could you possibly meet anyone? You work around the same 5 people and they're all women. So why are you complaining? Like, you got to make yourself friendly and then you can find friends. Well, she said, pray for me. So I said, yeah, I'll pray for you, but you got to do something. You have to make an effort. You got to do these types of things. But she lived for years in this self-defeated mindset. Like, I don't deserve to be happy. I'm being punished. I'm always going to be lonely. I said, you're saying the very thing that's creating that. You're creating that environment, that toxic view of everything. And that's why journaling is important. When you're trading, you want to take that feeling of that fear. In the early stages, you want to write those fears out in plain terms, what you're fearful of. Nobody else is going to read the journal. You shouldn't be letting anybody else read it. So that way you can be honest with yourself. You're talking to yourself. You're being honest with yourself. You're saying, this is what I'm afraid of. Tomorrow when I trade, I'm afraid I'm going to do this. When you're in the trade, what did you find fearful? Were you vocalizing your aggression or fear, anxiety? Oh, it's going to stop me out. Man, if I get stopped out, I'm going to be a mess. Oh, if this goes happen, I'm not going to be able to have enough money. I can't afford to do another funded account challenge or whatever it would be. Whoever you're fearful of. And then over time, you replace that with positive self-talk and you remove all negative. In the beginning, it's important for you to tackle where your root problems are, the way you think about things toxically, and you don't realize you're doing it until you see it in your own handwriting. And you go back months and years later and say, wow, what a fucking train wreck. Because that's what it feels like when I read my early journals. I'm like, what the hell? I see that in my early journals. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, no wonder I wasn't doing well. Like, I wasn't even staying focused on one principle or idea. Like, I was trying too many different things and not giving it a chance. Well, back to my sister, I told her, I said, you got to make yourself available. And all of a sudden, one of the guys that grew up in our neighborhood, decent young man, he started working with her. That was an answer to prayer. Nice guy, nicest guy in the world. He knows I'd break his fucking head if he ever tries to do anything to hurt my sister. He's the nicest person you'd ever meet. But she and him started dating. And they hit it off swimmingly. Like, it's amazing how they just clicked. And now she doesn't talk like, oh, woe is me. She's so thankful that she has him as her husband. And he loves her. Like, he adores her because he knows fucking better. No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to be funny in that regard. He loves her. He really, really loves her. And that to me is a match made in heaven. So she doesn't have that self-defeated mindset. She doesn't charge herself emotionally and psychologically about relationships because she's thankful for what she has. Apply that to your trades. When you do the right thing, follow your plan, follow your process. What are you trying to do? Did you move your stop loss correctly? Did you use a stop loss? Did you take partials at logical levels? And did you stay with the trade even though you were probably a little nervous? As long as it was moving in your favor, did you stay with it and let it deliver to your target? If you've done all those correct things, then you should feel good. You should feel good, not arrogant, not walking around like Mick Jagger like I do all the time. But it's the positive things that you want to constantly give yourself a attaboy, attagirl type thing in your journal and say, I feel good that I was able to do this. And that way you're replacing what you have to go through the early stages of ugliness. Journaling in the beginning, you want to get that out. Find out where your toxic roots and original thought processes that start all these problems. And unless you're honest in the beginning, you're not going to find them. You're going to pretend they don't exist, and you're only going to talk like you got everything figured out. You don't want to fake it in the beginning. Okay? Be brutally honest in the journal. That way you can grow from it and find out where these things are stemming from. It may be insecurities that are happening in your personal life that even there you're trying to avoid, that are making problems for your personal life, that are going to do what? Manifest themselves in your trades. You're going to be trying to do something to feel good. My sister would call me up before she got married to her husband, before she even met him. She would call me up for me to tell her encouragements. You're going to do fine. You're going to meet someone. I promise. Let's pray together. She needed that. but she was doing nothing on her part to improve her situation. So outwardly, objectively, here I am, I can see what she's doing wrong and telling her what she needs to do. She won't listen, much like some of my students. They don't want to listen. Like the things I'm telling you now. Some of you are listening to this saying, what the hell is going on? This guy's all over the place. And you completely missed the point, the plot. You've missed it. I'm telling you how to manage your personal life and how to keep that from screwing up your trading, because your personal life will fuck up the best signal service, the best fucking guy hand holding and telling you to trade. I could sit down and tell you when I'm buying, do it right there in live stream. Do it still right in front of you. Some of you that have these problems will still fuck it up. Why? You'll say, okay, I got a funded account for $10,000. I'm going full max on this. Boom. I'm in there. I don't give a shit. I'm going all in because I need this to grow quick. If ICT is taking that trade, then it's good enough for me. Full leverage, no stop. Let's go. And some of you are laughing, nodding. Yeah, that would be me right now. Why? Because you need something fixed in your personal life. And you're going to take that problem, bring it to the market, so that way the market can solve it for you. And it doesn't work like that. All it does is takes your problem, magnifies it, and then presents you with more. You got more problems now. Never thought about trading like this, have you? But that's exactly the reality of it all.